Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be checking out the Google Nest Hub Max, which is Google's latest smart home display offering and the upgrade to the Google Nest Hub. You're getting an upgraded speaker, you're getting a camera, and you're getting that larger screen. Is the Max worth the extra $100? Let's find out. Starting with the design, it's essentially a Bluetooth speaker with a tablet stuck on it. You get two buttons, a privacy button, and a volume rocker, as well as a camera on the front with an ambient light sensor. There's also two microphones for Google Assistant and video chat, as well as the camera that supports facial recognition. The display itself is a 10-inch HD touchscreen display. Going back to that privacy button, when it's toggled, it disables the camera and disables the microphones. It's pretty much Google's response towards privacy concerns regarding the Nest Hub Max. Google has had some privacy concerns in the past, so a lot of people were complaining about the fact that the device is missing a physical camera shutter, so you really can never guarantee you're not getting that, but they also do say that your voice recordings are all locally stored on the device. Moving on to settings, you have this little settings bar that comes with dials for brightness and dials for volume. Both of these can be tweaked exactly the way you want them. You also have the ability to set a do not disturb mode and turn the camera off. There's also an alarms icon, so you can natively set alarms on the device, and it's pretty straightforward. You just press plus, set your alarm, and the device will notify you at the time it is set, and you're good to go. You can also configure what your home display is going to show in ambient mode. Right now I have it set to the stock, which is Google Photos, so I can just swipe left and right depending on which photo I want, but you also have the added benefit of totally customizing your home display with the Google Home app. Within the app, you are met with a ton of customization options. You can pretty much tweak anything you want on the home display, whether it be the time, whether it be the weather, or you can set the frequency at which the slideshow moves. You also have the option to showcase your own photos or Google's clocks. I've always been a fan of the Google Art Gallery. However, you can set this to whatever you want, whether it be your own photos or it be clocks if you're into clocks. Moving on to the smart home capabilities of the Google Nest Hub Max, you pretty much get what you'd expect. It's pretty much a glorified Google Home Mini. You can tell it to set kitchen lights a certain color. You can also configure the colors yourself on screen, which is definitely an added benefit over having a Google Home Mini if you don't want to log into the app and do it on your phone. And as for customization, it's pretty straightforward. In our case, we have kitchen smart lights where we can configure color. You can set the brightness, and you also have the option to go into the actual light settings and turn them off or on depending on what you'd like. Moving on to another menu, you have the option to actually check out the entirety of your smart home configuration, whether it be your family room, your kitchen, your TV. I have this current setup set up on my Google Home, and I can configure it all straight from the actual tablet itself. One of the biggest upgrades that the Google Nest Hub Max has over the normal Google Nest Hub is a new Nest camera. It now has a camera implemented into the front of the screen. From here, you can check in on your home through the Nest app or the Google Home app, and you can also communicate through this camera and the speakers through two-way audio. The camera on the front of the display is a 6.5 megapixel camera with a 127-degree wide field of view. It also features face match technology, so it will be able to recognize you, and it can also track your face on Google Duo video calls. It also supports quick gestures, so you can wave at it to stop and play videos, but we'll get to that later.
With the Nest Hub Max, you're also able to speak through the internal speaker and communicate through the camera.
Moving on to the actual sound quality with the speaker, you do get a baked-in equalizer app with Google Home, so you can configure the speaker exactly the way you want. It's not really specific, but it definitely gets the job done, and it doesn't disappoint. Now, as for sound quality, here you go. The sound quality out of the Google Nest Hub Max is good. I'd say it's got a wide sound stage, and it's got deep, big thumping bass out of the 30-watt woofer. As for supported music services with the Google Nest Hub Max, you are getting support for YouTube Music, Google Play Music, Spotify, Pandora, and Deezer. And you also get Apple Music, but that is only for iOS devices. Overall support and compatibility for the Google Nest Hub Max is kind of strange. Some things will work, while not officially supported. Like Hulu, for example, is not officially supported, but I can Chromecast it to the Google Nest Hub Max. There's also services that aren't listed as supported, but do work. For example, iHeartRadio and TuneIn do work on actually streaming the audio to the device. The one thing that absolutely doesn't work, and I've tried multiple ways to get it on, is Netflix. That may be a deal breaker for some people. For me, I'm not exactly watching Netflix on this tablet constantly, so it wasn't a big deal. Google also includes the option to adjust the display based on the environment that the device is in, whether that be color matching the environment or dimming when it is dark. You can also configure Google Assistant to learn your voice and be able to distinguish you from others, especially when you are summoning the assistant. The process is really simple. It's really quick. All you got to do is repeat the summoning phrases over and over again. Let's not say those so we don't start triggering everyone's assistants. Another way to personalize the Google Nest Hub Max is through face recognition. By scanning your face multiple times, it will be able to recognize you, and in the top right corner, it'll show up your Google profile, and it will be able to give you personalized news based on the person it's seeing. You can also use the camera's new gestures, which involves raising your hand to pause and raising your hand again to play, whether that be YouTube or any video service, or it can be your music. It's actually pretty good. I've used it so far and it hasn't been finicky. And as for Google Assistant, it is how it's always been. It's pretty good, it's responsive, and it's pretty much identical to the Google Home Mini in the way that it processes questions and it answers. Of course, now it can utilize the display when giving feedback on a question. For example, when you're asking a question, it will give you the heads up with the actual display rather than just reading it out to you like it would on a Google Home Mini. And the same goes with follow-up questions. Google Assistant's gotten really good at follow-up questions and answering them in an efficient way. Overall, Google Assistant is good. I think it can respond to a lot of things you throw at it, and overall, it's getting better as it ages. So bottom line, the Google Nest Hub Max is a great smart display. You get the Google Assistant, you get the Nest camera integration, and you're also getting the entire package of a nice bright screen with a pretty good speaker. It's definitely a top contender against smart displays like the Amazon Echo Show, but it does come with that hefty price tag. If you can find it on sale on Black Friday, I'd say give it a try. That's been the review, guys. It's been Alex, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.